Good morning everyone. This is Neha Rastogi from the Millennium School, South City, Lucknow. Dear children, today we are going to start with a new chapter from your statistics for economics, that is central tendency, measures of central tendency. Children, this chapter you must have studied in your mathematics in class 9th and 10th. You are just going to brush up with it. Right? Before understanding this chapter, we should know the types of statistical series that are there in your economics. Children, we have three types of statistical series: individual series, discrete series, and continuous series. Individual series are those series in which only individual values are given. Now suppose if we want to talk about, or if we want to measure the average of the class, average marks attained by all the children in economics, right? So we will talk about the marks of the individuals, right? Only the marks of the individuals, marks of A, B, C, D, E, right? And we will sum them and divide them by the number of students, and we will get the average marks of the class, right? So when we only take the values, separate values, we talk about individual series. Second is your discrete series, also known as frequency array series. Now suppose children, out of 10, 4 marks is being given to 6 students. Right? Out of 10 students, 4 marks is given to 6 students. So when we know 4 marks is given to 6 students, why we should write 4, 4, 4 for 6 times? We should multiply it with 6, right? So in discrete type of series, we get two things: x, that means individual numbers, and their frequencies, that means the number of times that they are occurring, right? Discrete series is possible only in the terms of whole numbers, right? Where the numbers are 6 or maximum 6.5, right? It cannot happen, a discrete series cannot be made where 6.1, 6.2, 6.3 numbers like this are given, right? So discrete series is basically where proper numbers are given or whole numbers are given. Whereas in continuous series, what do? We distribute the numbers in between a class. For example, if the test was for 25 marks, some must have got 0, some children must have got 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 25, right? Some must have got 25 out of 25, some must have got 1.5, 2.5, 10.5. So it is very difficult to calculate, to write down from 0 till 25 all the values. So what do? In order to compress it, we make the class intervals. That means from 0 to 5, how many children have got marks? Between 5 to 10, how many children have got marks? Right? Instead of writing their individual marks, we talk about the class of marks. That means from 0 to 5, how many children have scored? And from 5 to 10, how many children have scored? Likewise, from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and from 20 to 25. Right? So these are your individual, discrete, and continuous series. Continuous series, children, is also known as frequency distribution series, because we distribute the frequencies into various classes. Okay, children. Now we come to the basic chapter, measures of central tendency. Central tendencies are of three types: arithmetic mean, median, and mode. Children, arithmetic mean is denoted by the symbol x bar. It's x bar. Median is denoted by m. It can be written as me also, right? Mode is denoted by z. Arithmetic mean is the mean value, average value. Median is the middle value, and mode is the most frequently occurring value. Now let's see what arithmetic mean is. Again, children, to calculate arithmetic mean, we will take the help of all the three series: individual series, discrete series, also known as frequency array, and continuous series, also known as frequency distribution series. Right? So we will look for the formulas in different series. Now to calculate mean under individual series, we have three methods: direct method, shortcut method, and step deviation method. Formulas for these methods are: under direct method, the formula for calculating x bar, that means mean, is sigma x. This is known as sigma. This is the symbol of sigmas, and sigma means sum. So this is sum of x. X will be the number of items that are given to you. Not the number of items, basically the items that are given to you. So we will sum up the items. And n is the number of items. Suppose 5, 10, 15, whatever number of items are given to you, we will divide it by that number. In your shortcut method, x bar is calculated as a plus sigma d upon n, where a is the assumed mean from the series, d is the deviation from the assumed mean. It is calculated as x minus a, and n is again number of items. In step deviation method, formula is x bar is equals to a plus sigma d dash upon n into c, where d dash is calculated as d upon c, and c is the common factor of the whole series. Right? Now we'll see in the question, then you will be able to understand it in a better way. Children, here is an example in which we are going to apply all the three methods. Right? The value of these x is given to you. It can be marks, it can be height, it can be weight, anything. Right? If we are doing it by direct method, formula is x bar is equals to sigma x upon n. So sigma x is sum of these x, which comes down to 360. 360 divided by n. N is number of counts. These number of items are 8. When we divide 360 by 8, we get 45. Similarly, in shortcut method, we have to calculate d. D is equals to x minus a. Now a here is assumed mean. Now children, assumed mean is taken from series x, from the series of x. Assumed mean can be any number, but to be convenient, it is better that you take the smallest number of the x series. Right? In this series, the smallest number was 15. That's why I have taken the smallest number. Now x minus a means 30 minus 15, 45 minus 15, so on and so forth. 20 minus 15. After calculating d, we add them because we need sigma d here. Look, we need sigma d here. Sigma d in this question is 240 divided by n, number of counts. The answer is again 45. Children, whichever method you will use, whether direct, shortcut or a step deviation, the answer will remain same. Fine. Now let's see the third part, step deviation. Here we had to calculate d dash. As I said, d dash is equals to d upon c. Right? Till here we know. How do we have calculated? Now you have to calculate, you have to find out c. And c is the common factor. From where do we find common factor? We look at the d series. And we see that which is the number through which we can actually divide the whole series. Which is the common number through which the whole series can be divided. From here we can see that 5 is the number through which all the numbers can be easily divided. All the numbers are divisible. So 15 upon 5, 30 upon 5, 45 upon 5, 25 upon 5, 50 upon 5, 70 upon 5 and 5 upon 5. And thus when we arrive to d dash, we do the sum of d dash because we here require sigma d dash. After substituting the values and doing the calculation, we get exactly the same answer from this question also. Children, try this question on your own once. And if you have any problem, please do contact me. Tomorrow we will be doing much more questions. Thank you, children. Have a good day. And children, I will be giving you certain homework questions also with this video. Please do apply those questions. Thank you, children.